Hello everyone and welcome to the second, well technically fourth Warhammer video of Total War Month, but the second replay basically. And this time it is a 2 versus 2, this was the second multiplayer battle I ever fought. And yes, once more that implies things, but no, don't leave just yet. Because once more, I'm playing as my favourite faction, also known as a faction I may trash talk the most, but probably the faction I play the most in multiplayer, Brettonia. As you can see, I brought a lot of cavalry today. My ally was the Empire, as you can see, Empire being an empire, and lovely wall of artillery that we'll talk about soon. And our enemies today were the dwarves, once more the dwarves, a faction I don't exactly like a lot, but mainly because, yeah, the dwarves have a way of doing me over in multiplayer. And also Skwalker, yes, and also a lovely war mammoth. Just, well, while I was being rode by Wulfric, this war mammoth seemed more interested in this rock than anything else. Not sure if this guy was actually trying to hide the war mammoth. But anyway, it wasn't a very long battle this one, but it was still a pretty fun one to fight. So let's just put this one in slow motion as people start moving out and quickly go through the builds. So I've pretty much brought, this is more or less my usual build in Brettonia actually. I usually have a front line of foot squires. I have a paladin to help out, a Grail relic as well to provide some general support. Also some pox bowmen for dealing with dwarves, trying to bring down the stats. But this time I've gone for Grail guardians, bigger and tougher than the questing knights, and well, also some Grail knights as well, because since Skwalker was in this battle I was concerned that there might be some big monsters to deal with, like Fimir warriors, skin wolves or war mammoths, so I thought some Grail knights as well would be good for taking them out. And leading my army is a prophetess of the heavens. And as you can see, the dwarves are already making their way over to me, by the way, and with some gyrocopters. The Empire, by the way, they had brought a front line of regular old gunners, spears with shields, swordsmen, great swords in the back, a line of cannons, and they were being led by just a regular general. Also on the flanks, he'd put a unit of Reichsguard and a unit of Empire Knights. Actually, no, these are both just regular Empire Knights. Sorry, my mistake, there's no Reichsguard today. As you can see, the dwarves were already launching their first few lops of artillery. And if you notice something weird about these rocks, he was using a goblobber, which is basically a goblin tied to a rock. Yeah. Pretty sadistic, I know, and yeah, I feel kind of bad for these poor little gobbos, but at the same time, I guess they deserved it. Meanwhile, on the dwarf side, as you can see, there's already a goblobber doing its work. There's a gyrocopter on its way. He'd also brought a front line of cannons to start ripping apart my infantry. Longbeards on the flanks, a line of great weapon longbeards as well. Ungrim, oh, this Thorgrim actually, sorry, this is Thorgrim Gudspray. Ungrim's the one who's the Slayer King. Quarreler crossbowmen, dwarf warriors with regular great weapons, 2 units of slayers to take out my knights, and the Goblobber Grudge Thrower. And also the Norskans, they brought a front line of Icehorn Marauders and some regular old Marauders. Plenty of Berserkers, as you can see, some more Marauders here. With great weapons. Miststalker, Fimir warriors, great weapon Marauders again, Wulfric on his mammoth, line of spears, and also some beasts of Tashna, which are nasty old Norscan warhounds, which looks like mutated pugs. So, basically 2 battles would be going on here. The Empire would be fighting the Norskans, and I would be dealing with the dwarves. And as you can see already, the dwarves had brought their copters forward. As you can see with these lovely slow-mo arrows just shooting in, decided, well, I may as well just try and, well, I nearly shot him in the face actually with a pox arrow. Yeah, the pox arrows were, while they were going to bring down the stats of these guys, and actually I think I just shot that one down right out of the sky actually, or it's just going to survive this one. Let's put this one in normal speed. No, it didn't crash unfortunately. But I used my pox arrows to try and deter these guys away. Unfortunately I didn't have anything like a Pegasus Knight to deal with them. I did have my prophetess who might be able to help, but she was already under attack. Goblobbers were just already just trying to hit whatever they could. He was targeting my Grail Knights. Common dwarf tactic to basically put artillery against knights or anything that's cavalry, since the dwarves don't really do anti-cavalry apart from slayers, but everyone really knows now just avoid slayers. I had my prophetess decide to cast a spell to try and start slowing these guys down. As you can see, I put the Curse of a Midnight Wind on them. Or at least someone had put that on. I'm not sure if that was me actually, but it already brought down their armor and attack, so the gyrocopters decided they would be better off attacking the Empire for a little bit. Goblobber was continuing to work its way against my knights. Questing knights were making their way in, then for some reason some hidden foes came out, or at least it was just these Marauder Berserkers, but the Norscan was wholly interested in dealing with with the Empire. And also, I believe he must have had a fire bale fiend somewhere as well, since he managed to cast a flame storm, which was just ripping its way through the Empire's troops. Meanwhile, over here, I have my questing knights, or at least my foot squires, moving in. They were getting ready to engage, but I'd brought in my Grail Guardians just to quickly smack into the Longbeards and take them out. Managed to get a good charge against them, but it wasn't going to last too long. As you can see, Goblobber just doing what it could. Pulled my guys out quickly before they started losing. Foot squires now fighting off the great weapon Longbeards. Not going to win, no. It's an even battle, basically. But foot squires at the end of the day are going to lose on the basis that their morale is weaker. Grail Knights over here, not doing too well, but my Prophetess of the Heavens beginning to work her magic with some lightning strikes just to take out some of the enemy. But once more, dwarves, well, dwarves being the grumpiest sods on earth, tend to ignore magic a lot. So while my magic was going to be doing what it could, it isn't going to do the greatest deal of damage against the dwarves, unfortunately, because they just have that innate resistance, I guess. Meanwhile, the artillery was somewhat unguarded, so I was going to use what was left of this Grail Knight here. They were going to try and take out the Goblobber at least. While the cannons were defended by the Slayers, I thought I may as well just try and get rid of that Goblobber before it does any more damage to my foot squires. Prophetess, by the way, she jumped in to try and have a go at the Quarrelers. Not exactly the best idea in the world, but at the same time would save her being shot to death by them in the sky. And she can sort of hold up in a fight. She's going to hold up brilliantly, but she is going to do better than a damsel, but probably at the same time not a good idea if I'm shooting my pox arrows in the same direction as well, but then again, more likely to hit a dwarf and smack my Prophetess in the back of the head. Over here, the dwarves had seen off my Grail Knights, but I was just sending them off to a new target. Thought I'd take out these freshly lightning struck Quarrelers. Managed to make a nice little meal out of them. Some of the foot squires were beginning to fail though. Some of them were running off already because, well, as you can see, these guys were just having a lot of fun with their great weapons, just absolutely laying a smackdown on these guys. Might have been better off if I brought men-at-arms actually, but at the same time, men-at-arms don't do armor-piercing damage, and also men-at-arms just have sucky morale. Brimstone guns, or at least, well, not brimstone guns, but these gyrocopters had gotten bored, by the way, so he decided just to kamikaze them right into my peasant bowmen. I'm not exactly sure how this works, by the way, because it seems really weird how they're doing this, but yeah, the gyrocopters had just basically moved in and they were slicing my pox arrow bowmen up to little pieces. That's what you get for not guarding your archers. Grail Knights over here had been surprised by some Longbeards as well. They were going to lose that engagement. And, well, as you can see, the regular Brettonian cascade was happening. Morale was sinking across the board on my end. Paladin, though, he was holding up fine. He was just having a load of fun. Over here, Wulfric had brought in his Norskans and, well, the Empire had more or less collapsed at this point. He just, well, the Empire had a very good build, by the way, but at the same time, Norska's just frenzied aggression just really brought him down. I guess maybe if my ally had been a little more aggressive, he would have worked, but the Ghost Longship as well just basically mowed down a massive load of troops. Beginning to lose ground on my end. Brought my Prophetess back to try and take out those gyrocopters. They had retreated. Managed to take out at least one of them though, so that's one of them not doing its weird butt dance all over my units. But I was very, very depleted on men. Just had some pox arrows, some Grail Knights, and these guys were already losing morale again by the way, because they were taking fire. The Quarrelers, I believe, had decided to see them off. Foot squires, some of them were coming back, decided to bring them in to give some help to the Grail Knights, who were having a fun time against the Longbeards again. So they're coming in, trying to get a charge in, but as you can see, their morale is already just straight up sinking. While, oh, and by the way, you can see their stats here, but yeah, they're shaken. And, well, as you can see, it just collapsed again on them. Over here, Grail Relique, that was abandoned, not going to work, and the Empire had fallen. Wulfric was on his way, so my men just cut it quits, and they said, no, we're not standing anymore. So, yeah, a close defeat once more, and this battle just shows how tough the dwarves can be. But yeah, not exactly my best performance there, but at the same time, I had given it a go. I mean, my losses were pretty severe, the Empire's losses were pretty severe, and the dwarves and the Norskans had prevailed upon us, so fair play to them for being better than us. I guess really the interesting bit of this battle is I didn't know that gyrocopters could melee attack. They just basically came in, did some butt jams all over my pox arrows, and that was the end of my pox arrows basically. It was very weird. Prophetess of the Heavens, I could have maybe used her a little bit more, but as I recall in this battle, the Winds of Magic just were pretty depleted from the start, actually, so all I could really do was try and spam the lightning spell when I could, but it just did not work out at the end of the day. So fair play to the dwarves once more. Great Beard, Great Weapon, Long Beards, to be more accurate. They just went in, absolutely cleaned house with my foot squires, and yeah. I guess this also just proves that Brettonia's infantry is probably not the best in the world. And I just needed to get better at using it. But get better at using it I have. So don't lose heart. Another multiplayer replay is actually coming up now. So I hope you've had a lovely day, folks, and I'll see you on the next episode for a battle which I am probably going to win. I'm not spoiling it though, because I haven't won all of these replays. Some of them were very close though. Very, very tense. See you on the next replay.